It's Monday the 14th of March 2016 and I'm at Gravesend to do a walk along the Saxon Shore Way long distance footpath. There's a statue of Queen Victoria in Gravesend. Heading for the start of the Saxon Shore Way, and here's St George's Church in Gravesend. Now beside the Thames, and it's very windy. Here's a guide board, and there's the view. Here are the remains of a Tudor blockhouse. And there it is. And as you can see, we're now on the route of the Saxon Shore Way long distance footpath. This is a 163-mile long footpath between Gravesend and Hastings. There's the impressive custom house built in 1814. Just beyond the custom house there are further Saxon Shore Way signs, and the walk goes down there. Now passing the Chantry, which is apparently Gravesend's oldest building. And there it is. It's a medieval chantry chapel encased within late 18th century brickwork. Now at the new Tavern Fort, which was built in the 1780s to defend the River Thames from French invasion. More gun emplacements, presumably part of the fort. Now heading back to the riverfront and passing this pleasant fountain. Here's a descriptor of General Gordon, and the next clip I'll show you the statue of him. He was very well associated with Gravesend. And there is the statue of Gordon. Now beside the river, with the view of Tilbury Power Station on the opposite bank. And that's the way ahead of the Saxon Shore Way. Looking back, there's a view of wind turbines. Now heading across the canal lockside. Yes, unbelievably, this is the Saxon Shore Way. Down this small road. The route eventually bears right along this enclosed footpath. The Saxon Shore Way now heads along this road. The scenery will improve shortly, honestly. This is just a convoluted route out of Gravesend. The Saxon Shore Way now turns left along this road. This is at a crossroads junction. The way bears right along this enclosed concrete footpath. At last, we've now come onto the sea wall by the Thames. Follow this for several miles. Still quite windy. Heading along the Saxon Shore Way along the sea wall by the Thames. I told you the scenery would improve. That's now looking back the way I've just come. Further on, there's quite a wet area on the right. Some horses in the distance. There's the sea wall ahead. Further on, there's one of the old type Saxon Shore Way signs with the Saxon helmet. Large ship in the river. And there's the very stony, well, if you can call it a seawall. That's the way ahead. Another Saxon Shore helmet concrete footpath sign. Now passing the remains of Cliffe Fort, built by General Gordon. We now need to cross this ladder stile. It's very blustery. And it's quite cold. Great views ahead. At this point, the route turns left towards Cliffe Fort. Looking towards Cliffe Fort. That's the sea wall, the Saxon Shore Way along the sea wall. That sign is a bit ominous. Go through this kissing gate and see. And there's a view of Cliffe Fort. The footpath's been okay so far. There it is ahead. We need to skirt this fort, skirt round this fort. And here is the footpath erosion. You need to be very careful if you come here. I've got down that and hopefully I can continue up there. I've now gone through part of a quarry and someone's given me directions, one of the workers, and I'm back on the sea wall, back en route. Now heading up Cliffe Creek. Still heading along Cliffe Creek. Here's a more strenuous sign about the footpath erosion. This is at the head of Cliffe Creek and it's warning of the way I've just come. Not the way ahead, fortunately. At this point, the way is ahead. You cross this big wide path and go ahead. The path heads between these bushes towards Cliffe Village. We're actually walking between lagoons, but only the one on the left is clearly visible. At this point you can see both lagoons. Still on the clear path between the lagoons. At this junction the walk turns left. I've just diverted off the path to a splendid viewpoint. You can see across to Thames Haven in Essex. The walk bears left to this path for a short distance. A few yards on, the Saxon Shore Way turns right down here, heading towards Cliffe Village along the Saxon Shore Way. And there's a view of St Helen's Church, Cliffe. And now at the bus stop in Cliffe and the end of today's walk along the Saxon Shore Way.